You are listening to How to Get Over Your Ex, episode number 293. Running into my ex was the best thing that happened to me. Welcome to How to Get Over Your Ex, a podcast on getting over your ex without it just taking time. I'm your host, breakup coach Dorothy. Let's turn your pain into power and your heartbreak into happy. Hello, beautiful brave hearts. How are you doing? I am so excited to be here with you today. So about 2 weeks ago, I had an amazing coaching call in the Get Over Your Ex program, and it was just so good. I could not share this one specific story with all of the brave hearts turning into the podcast. And let's just be clear, not because of the crisis that my client was facing, but because of the stunning realization that we uncovered together through the coaching. Now, I had a client, we're going to call her Sarah. We're not going to use her real name here, but Sarah had been working on building her bigger and better life. And she had been trying to get a ticket to this thing that sounds like a very bougie book club event for months. I have in my mind, the type where intellectual people gather in a very gorgeous cafe, they're sipping amazing, beautiful coffee, and then they read in silence for 2 hours. So very that girl energy. We love it. Very much the life that she was creating. And finally, she gets a ticket to this event. It's been booked all the time. And she was just practically vibrating with excitement about going to this event. And it felt like, a symbol of everything she was building: community, intellectual stimulation, the sophisticated life that she really wanted. And the crazy part, you guys, this is just so wild. She walks in, her heart full, ready to claim her spot in this new chapter of her life, right? And like the worst thing ever. Her ex is there. And not only is her ex there is there with his new girlfriend. What? Can we all just gasp? Oh my God, right? And I'm just sitting here like the universe has a sense of humor, doesn't it? So in that split second, Sarah relays to me that her brain offered her 3 options, right? She was like, I can either bolt immediately, I can stay and pretend that she didn't see them or notice them, or she could just walk over and say hello. And she blew my mind a little bit. She did it. She was that girl. She did it. She chose option 3. She walked up and she said hi and stayed for the entire event. Can we just round of fucking applause here, right? She even made small talk with the new girlfriend while getting coffee. Not because she enjoys torture, like the torture of, seeing your ex in the same body with a completely different brain. Like that person is not who you fell in love with. But because something deeper was guiding her, and some part of her knew she belonged there and that this was her life that she was building. And I was just so proud of hearing that. Like she was coming to me being like, I've taken 17 steps backwards. I feel, so far behind, all this stuff. And I'm just like, just hearing that experience in itself was incredible. Then the following things that happened also were incredible to me. So the support that she had completely just rushed to her aid. It was so incredible to hear about. She had a friend who lived nearby who dropped everything and just came over. Then she looked up after saying hi to her ex, and there was an old friend at the event who became her anchor when she explained what was happening. And then even the event organizer, so amazing, was just shocked by this wild thing that was happening, and she gave Sarah free drinks. So I'm just sitting here like, wow. Now, when Sarah got on the coaching call with me, she really was convinced that somehow she had failed, that running into them meant she was back at square one, that maybe this was a sign she wasn't ready to build her bigger and better life. But here's the thing about moments like these. They are literally, my friends, they are never a setback. They are always evaluations. And evaluations are where real magic happens. Every single time. I do them all the time with my clients, not knowing what we're going to uncover, but there's always gold within these experiences. So we did what I call the Braveheart evaluation, 3 simple steps, right? We look at, what did I do well? What did I not do well? And what do I want to do differently next time? And what emerged was stunning. So Sarah had really identified that she showed up amazing in the moment. She'd been gracious, confident, she claimed her space, she activated her support system like a pro, she stayed present instead of disappearing. And the parts that she felt like she didn't do well, they were all after the event, right? Maybe it was mental spinning for too long, talking shit with your friends for days instead of hours. And honestly, I'm like, girl, to me, that's not even bad. It's just human. Like, of course, we want to do better and elevate and get to a place of indifference and all of that, which she will get there, and you always do get there. But to me, being your first run-in with your ex, meeting the new girlfriend, like, your response is human, right? So we ended up creating a protocol for next time, right? Allow yourself 30 minutes of shit talking instead of 2 days. Set a timer if you need to. Feel the feelings. Redirect to building rather than consuming. Allow yourself to be human. Allow for the human. That is totally fine. But the real magical breakthrough for me was realizing, and it all kind of started after we completed that evaluation, because you uncover so much in the evaluation. But afterwards, it was so clear to be able to ask the question and answer the question, how did this event help you move 10 steps forward? If I tried to ask her that before we did the evaluation, it would have been a really difficult question to answer. But we did the evaluation, and then asking that question, there's such a clear answer, right? And that answer hit her like lightning, okay? She walked into that coaching call feeling like she was 10 steps backwards, starting over from scratch. But as we talked, she realized this experience had actually accelerated her healing in ways that months of safe, in quote, safe progress never could have, right? And I think that's powerful to witness. She'd faced her worst case scenario and not only survived, but she thrived from it. She proved to herself that she could encounter her ex in their new relationship and still claim her space, still build her life, still be the woman that she was becoming. And the universe hadn't conspired against her. It was really conspiring for her. Like I talk about all the time, it's happening for you, not to you. So this is what I want you as a listener to understand. The moments that feel like tests from the universe, they are not roadblocks, okay? They are accelerators. They are proof that your healing is real, that the work you've been doing has created actual transformation in your nervous system, your confidence, your sense of self. And life will test your healing, not to break you, but to show you how unbreakable you've actually become. And Sarah didn't just survive that book club. She showed up as the woman she'd been working to become, confident, grounded, unwilling to abandon her dreams because of someone else's presence. And here's what I know for sure. Okay, if you are listening to this and you're thinking, I could never handle that, you are so wrong. You absolutely could, because when the moment comes, you won't be the same person who first got heartbroken. You'll be the person who's been doing the work. The question isn't whether life will test your healing, because it will. The question is, will you recognize the test as proof of your strength, or will you let it convince you that you're starting over? Okay, your bigger and better life isn't waiting for you to be ready or healed enough. It's waiting for you to claim it, even when, especially when, it feels scary. So here's your homework for this week. Next time something happens like this, that feels like a setback, I want you to run it through the Braveheart evaluation. I want you to ask yourself, what did I do well? What did I not do well? What do I want to do differently next time? Very specifically, things only that you can control. And most importantly, after you complete that evaluation, I want you to ask yourself, how has this experience moved me forward? I promise you will be shocked by how much healing has already happened, because the truth is you're not who you were when this all started. You're stronger, you're braver, you're more resilient. And the sooner you see that, the sooner you'll stop letting fear keep you from the life that you're meant to live. All right, if you're ready to build the tools and the confidence to handle whatever life throws at you while you're building your bigger and better life, I hope to see you inside of the Get Over Your Ex program. This is where we turn these moments from terrifying to transformative. Because, beautiful Braveheart, your healing is not fragile, it's fierce. It is time you started treating it that way. All right. I love you, Bravehearts, so much. I hope you have a beautiful week. Let's turn your pain into power and your heartbreak into happy.
If you're loving the How to Get Over Your Ex podcast and you want to learn how to get over your ex in 3 months or less to build a life better than the one you thought you had with your ex, I would like to personally invite you to my next group course where we take everything you've learned here on the podcast and apply it to your life. Come check it out at www.lifecoachdorothy.com.